So then most likely we are live. I'm waiting until the approval screen is showing up in the background, and this looks good as well. So
just trying
to hello guys. I'm really looking forward to have Ryan Inglis live on tonight, and this is my first English interview since a while, so probably my English is a little bit rusted if I miss a word or can't imagine a word here and there. Ryan will help me out. Before we start, I will play my jingle, say 2 to 3 sentences about the format, and then we're getting started.
Cool. Nice, man.
Hier triffst du Menschen, die einfach mal machen. Just fucking do it. Gespräche mit mutigen Vorausgehern.
So even you probably not everybody understands German. This is, I mean, the sound is clear. It's a dragster on the quarter mile. So it's about getting the horsepower on the track. And this is, what the format is all about, talking to people that just do the things they dream about and follow their visions and make them reality. And this format is about to motivate people out there that are also thinking about, I'm having this dream, but I wasn't brave enough, or was thinking about some issues or people telling me this, I cannot make this true. And I'm telling stories with people that followed their dreams and just made it reality. And Ryan is one of these guys that I met over the course of the last 2 years on my very own journey. And my very own journey was also about showing myself to the public with what I'm doing. I'm working as a coach and trainer today, and working with people that are about to realize their dreams and need some mental power and the right mindset to really follow their dreams and don't stumble upon their inner critics that say, probably you shouldn't do this, stay in the comfort zone. I'm helping you out if you want to follow your dreams. And this is how this format got started. And I met Ryan last year when we had a format started. It was a weekend retreat, so to say. It was about working with vision boards and about visualizing the dreams. And one of these guys, obviously, that was on that first journey was the guy that just signed a 10K coaching contract today because he wants to found his own restaurant on 1st of April in these times where most restaurant owners are really, really struggling, and he's no cook and he doesn't have the money. So this will be a really tough mindset journey, but he's really willing to succeed. So Ryan, I'm really glad to have you here because we got in touch when I was looking for a musician for the first retreat. What do you remember when I got in touch with you? What did you think about me?
I don't know. I remember, you said, we have an event coming up. We're looking for somebody to sort of play music and sort of tell stories about what you've been doing and share some of your advice. And I was definitely interested. And we ended up meeting at the gig of Cooper Lower, wasn't it?
Exactly. That's when I joined into your living room.
Yeah, you came to the living room concert, and that's it, man. And then it's been a year or something, and times have been completely different. And
exactly.
I'm seeing everything that you're doing online, like your slogan, like this, just fucking do it. I think it's, it's very to the point, and it's exactly what you are actually doing. It seems to be you're very on it, like you're working hard all the time,
Yeah, at least I'm trying to keep that machine running, because I mean also my own tasks are to try to get my horsepower on the ground, which is sometimes tougher, sometimes easier. And I'm really glad that this format took off. I mean, we are in episode 19 or something. I stopped counting because this week we nearly have a new episode online every day due to the artist lockdown special that I invented 2 weeks ago out of an idea that somehow, I mean, I saw the pieces of the puzzle and somehow connected them, and this came up. And I asked people like you saying, okay, Ryan, do you want to be part? And you said, yeah, sure, of course, let's do it. And and then I found a few other people, and suddenly we had a lineup for this week. And before we talk more, get a little introduction about who Ryan Inglis is, I guess we want to hear you.
You'd like to hear a couple of songs and talk about you're gonna think of some questions, right? And you're gonna have a little chat.
Exactly, exactly. And the first chat is a musical chat, so feel free to swing your guitar for us.
Okay, well, the first song I was going to play for you, it feels like I'm actually playing just for you, but hopefully people are watching live as well. But the first song I'm going to play is called Only Human. And this song is, it's actually one of my favorite ones to play anyway. But one of my guitar students mentioned to me a couple of weeks ago that he makes music videos. And would I be interested to sort of make one? I was like, oh yeah, I have a song that I'd still like to do. So we're actually going to start filming this next week. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it comes out. But yeah, I'm going to play you this song, and it's a song about forgiving yourself for being afraid sometimes, for making mistakes, and really telling the listener to love themselves. Treat yourself with the respect that you deserve. So here we go. Sounds like this. Well, you can count on us to misbehave. We're only human, we're designed to make mistakes. Whoa, but that's okay. You can count on us to be afraid. We're only human and this world's a scary place. Oh, some things may never change. We're only human after all. 'Cause we're standing in the middle, we're standing tall. In a world that's such a mystery to me, such a mystery to us all. We make our decisions and sometimes we get them wrong. Well, some things will never change. We're only human after all. Well, you can count on us to make you cry. We're only human, we can't be happy all the time. And that's okay. You can count on us to hurt the ones who really love us, but we never mean to hurt no one. Oh, some things may never change. We're only human after all. 'Cause we're standing in the middle, standing tall. In a world that's such a mystery to me, a mystery to us all. Yeah, most of the time we don't know what we're doing wrong. Now that has got to change if we're ever gonna get along at all. Well, you can count on us to search for love in every place except the place it has to come from. Oh, that place inside yourself. You're an awesome human after all. couple of little mistakes, but
You're only human after all. That's exactly the right. It was exactly the right song for me also because before you started, I realized that I didn't push the record button on my local audio board, which I advertised before as being as having a better audio quality. But it started with the first song, so everything good. I have all mistakes recorded.
okay.
So
Now that's a bit better. Cool. So yeah. So what's can I maybe I can see if everyone is watching live as well. If anyone's leaving any comments, I want to be able to sort of have a look and
if you want to be interactive, then feel free to take over. Else, I will take the questions and ask you, who actually is Ryan Inglis?
am I?
Who are you?
I don't even know if I know myself. I'm basically just a musician. Like I've been playing guitar and singing now for just over well, how long has it been? Hang on, yeah, 23 or 24 years. I started playing guitar when I was 16, and sort of professionally, I've been doing it for maybe 15 years, I think. And I think it was about 4 years ago when I really started traveling and doing some things, and I think that definitely broadened, my horizons and the way I think about stuff. But I think I'm a pretty simple guy.
What made you start traveling 4 years ago? Was that when you recorded that traveling song also? How is it called?
Well, there's Blessed with Less was actually written
Yeah.
while I was in Spain, but I decided to start traveling before then.
Okay.
I always wanted. I love my job, right? I was a singer playing guitar anyway, and I just needed to be able to do the same thing, but outside of the UK. I wanted to see some things. I'd never really been anywhere because I'd always maybe planned to go on holiday, and then like a gig would come up that would pay more than normal. So I would take the gig, and then I would go on holiday, and I just thought I'm getting a bit tired of sort of sacrificing being able to go abroad. Why can't I just put them together? And yeah, just these certain things came together, and got a few gigs in Corfu at the beginning, which led me to go into Austria. I met some people in Austria. So I met some people in Corfu that lived in Australia, and they offered a place for me to stay there. So I was in Australia for a few months, and yeah, they just opened up a can of worms. Like when you meet people, there's always the chance to do another thing, and I just said yes to every opportunity that came up, really, and was able to pay the way, by gigging as much as I could while I was there.
Sounds like you absolutely followed your intuition then.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, I was extremely lucky, but yeah, I just had to. It felt like there wasn't really another option. So I'm glad it worked out.
Or was it your intention then, or did it just happen somehow?
It was definitely some intention of it, but there was definitely the bit at the beginning that was somebody contacted me out of the blue. I hadn't seen her for like 10 years or something. He said, "Hey man, I'm working in Corfu now. We're looking for a musician. Can you come out and do a gig?" And I was just like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. So I do believe there's some aspects of like what you believe and what you wish for, in your mind. It does manifest in some way, and I think it has to. I don't know how it works. I don't know if anyone does, but there's no harm even if you don't. I think, who's that comedian? Billy Connolly. He said this thing like, why don't you just think big and, fuck it, if it doesn't happen, at least you're enjoying the thoughts of the things that you want. And even figuring out what it is you want is quite a fun, task. Most of the time, when I spoke to people about my 100 things list, they'd be like, how did you think of 100 things? And everybody can. You can just sit down and think, oh, I'd like to ski off a mountain, I'd like to whatever, and you just write it down. Just don't give yourself any limitations, and you see what happens. It can come about somehow.
And I guess it's not about knowing how things are coming. It's about being ensured somehow that the right things will happen. Then you're opening up somehow, and exactly these things are coming. Yeah.
And it happens so many times. Like I went on holiday. I went to Iceland with my mum, and she was like, "Oh, what are we going to do about getting a hotel and whatever?" And I said, "Don't worry about it. I'm going to sort it out." So I didn't actually plan anything. We booked a hostel for the first night, just a cheap place. And I posted on Facebook like, hey, do I know anyone who lives in Iceland, in the capital, Reykjavik, I think it is. And I just got a message and they said, yeah, I know this woman. We did a message and she contacted me, said, yeah, I live just like 10 minutes from where you are. The people that I had a room, she has a room upstairs that she was renting out to lodgers. And she said, oh, they actually left like 2 days ago. So there's a room for you now. So you can just stay there. And she was like really lovely. Her name was Berglind. And yeah, she looked after me and my mum while we were there for like a week. And yeah, just these things happened too many times in a row for me to ignore or to like distrust it. There's always something that comes up.
It just proves to work somehow.
I don't know the rules. I don't know how it happens, but yeah.
Yeah, but actually it comes to you, so yeah, everything is fine. Cool. So how did it come that you started playing the guitar with 16? It sounds to me as being quite a late starter somehow for a full-time musician.
Yeah, I just never. I kind of picked it up once when I was 13, and one of my friends at the time, Wesley, he was playing guitar and he showed me one thing. And then it was like 3 years later when I started college. And it was the first time I kind of experienced this thing where you have time when you go to school. You have lessons like every hour through the day. But yeah, during college, I actually had some time in between lessons. I took the guitar into college. I was reading guitar magazines, and I was practicing a lot at home, and I just threw myself into it. It was really, really, really fun. I played it every single day.
And what happened then that you actually started to take a guitar and really got into it? And what happened before in terms of music?
Well, I mean, when I first got on stage, I was about 21 or something like that, maybe 22 when I first started going to acoustic nights. Before then, I'd never really thought about singing at all. I was just learning songs that I really liked, and I was putting the CD on and playing along, like in my mind, pretending that I was in the band. You know, it was like some kind of nice feeling for me, and making sure that I sounded just like this song. But yeah, it wasn't until maybe I was 23 or something. I did my first paid gig, which I got paid £20 for, together with another guy. But the only reason we got £20 is because the owner put some money in our change bucket because nobody else did, and he felt bad for us. But yeah, you have to start somewhere.
And when you started to go for the music, did you have some supporters there in terms of? I mean, it sounds to me that you didn't have a plan to become a musician. It's just like, oh, okay, there's a guitar, something that interests you, and you got into it and somehow found your way.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've been playing guitar for like 6 or 7 years, up until the point where I started trying to play on stage. And then I remember walking past the guitar shop. They were looking for a guitar teacher. And, I thought, I'll just give it a try. I'll go in and see if they're looking for anything. The owner of the store, his name was Brian Mapstone. I always remember what he said. I basically said, I'd like to have this job, what do you think? And he just looked at me and said, no, you don't look qualified enough. Maybe come back another time. So I went to the front of the shop, picked up a guitar and just started playing around with it. And then he came over and he said, okay, you can start on Monday. And I got given like 5 or 6 students to start with. And gradually my teaching went up enough that I could go 20 hours per week with my other job. And then slowly but surely the lessons were enough where I didn't have to do work, let's call it normal work anymore. And then I started going to music college because I had the time and I was able to do it. And it just sort of kicked off from there.
When was that when you did go to the music college?
Yeah, it's probably when I was about 23, I think. And I was there for 2 years. And then I was actually, after I finished the college, I was a lecturer there for like 1 or 2 years after that. So I was teaching literally what I'd only just been taught the 2 years before, like helping out with teaching Pro Tools, recording techniques, and just basic stuff for other musicians just starting out as well.
Mm-hmm. So, and what was did you have a plan or something where you wanted to develop to, or what was your further path then?
I don't think I've ever really had a plan in my life. It's just
It just happened.
take things as they come. I was just at the same time kind of writing my own songs and feeling that out, and I was just happy that I was playing guitar and paying my rent. That's all I really cared about, and that's all I still really care about. I like to be able to travel and make the most of opportunities like that. But I really feel like I have everything I need.
Did you ever dream of becoming a musician before, or did you have a dream job that you wanted to take before you came to the music?
No, I never really had a dream job. It's always been make money with guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That was always what it was. Yeah.
Perfect. So then I invite you to make some more money with the guitar. And on that occasion, I want to remind the people that are watching us, we have set up a PayPal money pool where you can donate some money if you like what you hear and what you see. We have a few musicians this week. We had Philip on Monday. We had on Tuesday German pop duo Zwei. Then on Thursday we had Melina. Yesterday we had Daniel from Sleepwalker. So the recordings are online. Feel free to watch it, and feel free to give some money for us and for the musicians, so we can keep up this great work and help the musicians also to go on stage again after the lockdown hopefully finishes again someday.
Yes. All right. Hang on one second. Hang on. So I'll just describe this song a little bit before I start. But but thank you again for putting together this podcast, and I hope everyone watching is enjoying it. Right. So this song is called "Reach Out for Me." This song is about inspiration and finding it anywhere when you really can, when you really look for it. It's not always easy, but inspiration is always there somewhere. So I hope you like this song. Here we go. You don't see me, but I'm always here. I'm in your dreams, your thoughts, your memories, and every day you could say that every day you could say that I'm a little bit of everything that I have ever been is trying to get your attention, yeah, trying to get your attention. I won't be far, I won't be far, reach out for me. I won't be far, wherever you are. I won't be far, reach out for me. What I am is invisible. A heart can read what eyes don't see, and every day you can say that every day you can say that I'm a little bit of everything that I have ever been is trying to get your attention, yeah, trying to get your attention. I won't be far, I won't be far, I won't be far, reach out for me. I won't be far, wherever you are. I won't be far, reach out for me. Ooh. I'm in the pause before the pen makes a mark. I am the brush before the paint becomes the art. I'm in the hush before the voice speaks words that can melt your heart. And every day you could say, every day you could say that, every day you could say, I won't be far, I won't be far, I won't be far, reach out for me, I won't be far, wherever you are, I won't be far, reach out for me. 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 Woo! Thank you very much. Cool.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So how do the texts come up for these songs? So what are the texts about in general? Is there some kind of connection or some, how do you say in English, red line? Is that the word? Roter Faden in German?
Not sure, but I mean, the way the lyrics come out is through excruciatingly painful hard work and and just keep writing stuff until something good happens, because you can never just go, oh, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. No, it doesn't happen. You just make 100 mistakes to make one good thing. About it.
So how can I imagine your songwriting process then? So when do you have good times in terms of good things coming up, and when are times that you usually spend your time otherwise?
I mean, like, does my mood affect the songwriting or something? Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, I think I'm writing much more happier songs like this, this selection of songs that would be the next album. They're a lot happier than the older songs have been. But I think that's probably just because writing sadder songs is somehow easier. So I think you just sort of traverse through that and you get to writing happy ones later. I don't know if that's the same for everyone else, but I found it that way anyway. And most of the time it'll start with some kind of guitar idea. Like this one was just, I had this thing for ages, and then you just sort of hum a melody, and then you start deciding on, okay, I'm going to keep that melody. I just need to find some words that fit over those notes, and you just go over and over and over again. And this version of the song is probably the 10th edit, and it's still going to change a little bit more as it's, as eventually I record it in the studio at some point.
So do you usually write these songs then at home or in the studio, or do they somehow come to life when you're playing live?
I always write them at home. I'll write some bits while I'm traveling as well, and I'll just make a note of any ideas that I come up with, and then I'll just sit at my desk, and this is where I do my songwriting, and I record some little demos and bits and pieces. Or most of the time I'll just record it as a live performance and just put it on Facebook as a live thing. But yeah, most of the songs that I've ever written were written on this particular guitar here, which I bought secondhand, probably about 20 years ago now. And yeah, that's it, man.
So they are basically your musical memory, basically. So everything that has that we somehow know from you is actually started coming to life on this guitar.
Pretty much, yeah. And pretty much most of my songs are based on things that happen to me or things that I think about, or there's slight variations on something that's going on in my life, rather than just saying the maybe the boring facts of how something works out. You sort of make it a little bit more interesting, or you flip it around and talk about it from another perspective. But I don't tend to write songs about things I have no idea about,
Mm-hmm. Do you remember your very, very, very first own song?
Yeah. It's a song called Sometimes, and yeah, I recorded it at the music college when I started there, and there is a version of that on my website. If I'll send you this link later, but you can download it along with a whole load of other stuff. And the MP3s there are all there technically for free, but you can give a donation to the PayPal if you want to. But it's got my 2 albums and lots of live MP3s from the newer songs that I've been recording since lockdown started, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm asking a coaching question now. So what would the guitar tell me if I would ask her, how did Ryan feel when he first picked me up?
Well, I don't know, but I just remember seeing somebody else playing guitar and just thinking that looks really cool. And then when I tried it, I think the guitar would probably be like, well, he probably hit me a bit too hard at the beginning, just getting frustrated and just, getting fed up with my fingers not doing the right things. But, you just persevere. And, when you do get it right, it's just the most rewarding thing that I know, and writing a song and being like happy with how it comes together. These things are really, really, really make everything worthwhile, when it comes to music.
Yeah, I still remember my very own music writing times. I mean, when I came to my band like 10 years ago, I didn't know how songwriting worked. And I was really stoked when I first met these guys that were writing their own songs. And suddenly I got involved into that process. I mean, there was the guitar player that actually came up with, as you just explained, there was a melody, and then somehow a text came up, and then it connected together, and then he brought it into the band, and then the other band members actually played together, and then over time it's developed, and that's basically interesting. And then I realized, oh, okay, that's how songwriting works. So it's much easier somehow than I ever expected. But then on the other hand, when you want something, I also made the experience, then usually it doesn't work. I mean, also for jams, I mean, the best jams somehow happen if you never expect them, and usually then the recorder is not running, and it's just staying there for that moment, for that brilliant moment, and
it's lost in time then. Yeah.
Lost in time and not reproducible somehow.
Yeah.
Are there some songs that got lost somehow also, in a sense of where you thought like, oh, they're a great idea, but then they never came to came out?
I mean, there's at least one song that I can think of that I remember finishing, but then this is years and years ago. But I never played it again, and I lost the piece of paper, and I couldn't remember how it went. So I'm fine with that, because if I can't remember what it sounds like, then I guess it probably wasn't very good. So I can at least sort of make myself less sad thinking about it that way. But pretty much everything that I ever come up with, any tiny little guitar idea, anything like that, I've recorded them all. So my laptop is full of lots of unfinished pieces of things. And a lot of the newer songs that I have now is just a consequence of actually sitting down and just saying, right, okay, let's put these things together and let's finish things off. And yeah, songwriting is definitely like, it's very difficult to do. I think the what's that guy? The guy from the Eagles. Anyway, one of these songwriters, Jackson Browne, that's him, right? Not from the Eagles, but he wrote a song for the Eagles. And the guy from the Eagles was saying that basically Jackson Browne would get up every day, he'd sit at his piano, he would write one line and he would sing it and repeat it, go and make a cup of tea, come back, add a line, sing those 2 lines. And he said, what he learned about songwriting is it's just repetition. Keep working, don't stop, just keep hammering away at the song, like chiseling away at this big piece of marble until something comes about. And it can happen that whatever song you think is finished, you go into the studio and it takes on this other little element, and it becomes something that's just that little bit extra better. And yeah, it's very exciting. And when people like your songs, it's the best feeling.
When I'm thinking about people liking your songs, what was your first experience that you really remember when you released something and got the feedback of people? So what is the moment that when you're thinking back, where you really got that first experience of people hearing your music, reacting on it, and how did that influence you and your process of development as a musician?
Well, I think one of the first people that I used to play my old songs to was my friend Lorna, and she would always say, "Yeah, this is really good." Like, she was always encouraging, and if you don't get any of that encouragement at the beginning, you will just stop. And it's very important for that sort of thing. But by the time I released my first single from my sort of first like proper album, The Time Is Now, lots of people got behind it, and it got like to number 4 in the iTunes charts and stuff, the singer-songwriter charts. That was when I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'd love to, maintain this kind of thing, but it's a little bit harder to maintain than you might think. So I'm hoping to get that sort of thing back again. But yeah, I think when I started putting my music as well on this website called Slice the Pie, is where you can get reviews from people who are just music lovers, and they find your music and they get paid a little bit of money to make the reviews. So they're honest reviews, and I used to get lots of really good reviews, and it always made me feel pretty good. I get a few bad ones and still do, but yeah, I think any kind of encouragement just keeps you going. You have to have a little bit, for sure.
It's not about being everybody's darling. It's about being conscious and proud basically of what you are doing, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the reason you play guitar or write songs or do anything is because you're doing it to get some part of you out, or to share some part of yourself with the world. I guess it makes you happy.
Did you have any imagination or expectation on how life as a musician is supposed to be?
I can't say that I did. I know, the stereotypical thing is that musicians are always poor and struggling, and there's definitely some of that going on sometimes. Like when you don't quite have the gigs coming in or whatever. But for myself, like I knew from the very beginning, when I started doing guitar teaching, I knew that I needed to have some money coming in from this place. I was still doing bar work, so I had some money coming here. There was something else, I can't remember what it was, but like I had a little bit of money coming from here. So I had 3 little things going. So I always knew that it made sense to have at least 2 or 3 revenue streams, where gigs is one, teaching is another, and they fluctuate and go up and down. So I've genuinely been keeping myself on a good level for that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. That's a good memory. Also, reminds me of reminding the people of our PayPal money pool. If you're still listening, feel free to donate something. It's linked in the description of the video. And if you want to play another song, then this would be a good time, I guess, to.
I'm going to play a song. I'm just going to quickly check out these comments from some of the guys watching. Sorry.
Feel free.
But hey Claudia, she's saying that it's so good to see and hear us. Donnie and Gentian are here. These are a couple of my guitar students. They're watching. Fiona, she's watching from all the way back in the UK. Anna Lydia Ortiz, she's watching from South America, I think. And we've got Marilyn, she's watching from Australia. And Leslie Hallstrom, she's watching from Washington. So cool. We got a little bit of a
international crowd. So
thank you for everyone for joining in. I'm going to play you a song about self-doubts, which I think is kind of ties into the whole idea of your podcast. The song is about that voice inside your head that tells you you're not good enough and that you don't deserve nice things. And I remember saying this before in a live stream, and imagine if you didn't have that voice. If everybody just did not have that, imagine everything that people would achieve, and it's just up to you. This voice inside your head really isn't doing you any favors. So it's called Mr. Self-Doubt, and it's about telling that voice to shut up and go away. And it sounds like this. Let's put a bit of reverb on it, make it sound a bit nicer. Oops. 1, 2, 3, here we go. believe all the things I say to you? Can you achieve all the things I want to do? Will you help me when I fall? Help me make sense of it all. Will you laugh and say I told you so? Where are you when I realize my dreams? How many times have you caused me to succeed? I'm the one who has the goal. You're the one with no control. The more you told me, the stronger I become. Well, I'm not here for your amusement. Fuck your advice, I will not choose it. If you won't help me, then I'll help myself. Yeah, maybe it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be alright. Yeah. You don't stand a chance against me, do you? My better judgment will never let me show you. You'll always be a part of me, sometimes overpower me, but I know that I am better than this. So I'm not here for your amusement. Fuck your advice, I will not choose it. If you won't help me, then I'll help myself. Here and maybe it'll be alright. I'm not here for your amusement. Fuck your advice, I will not choose it. If you won't help me, then I'll help myself. Here and maybe it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be alright. Yeah, Woo! Thank you very much. Thanks for listening. I think the chorus sort of rings with what you're doing as well. You know, fuck. I'm not here for your amusement. Fuck your advice. I will not use it. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Just fucking do it. Exactly.
So, hey, Denise from Munich. She's watching as well now. So, yeah, we've got a few people here. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. For your interest, and I'm really getting more nervous when I'm hearing that so many international people listen. No, not really, but I mean, my English is probably a little bit rusted, but I guess it's still good enough to make such a podcast. So, and how about your German, actually, Ryan?
Mein Deutsch, es ist ein bisschen schlimm. Ich übe niemals, sehr, sehr kaum, aber ja, ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch. Aber
Okay.
es ist ein bisschen schwer, so eine Unterhaltung.
Okay.
Wir können es probieren.
Okay, but I guess most people are talking to you English anyway. So at least that's the experience that I made when I had an ex-colleague also from the UK, and he was sitting in my office and he was hoping to learn some German, but everybody talked to him English because everybody was hoping to improve his English. So
yeah, that's the way it's been. You know, I did try really hard at the beginning to sort of use it all the time, but yeah, people just reply to you in English, and you just get lazy. And I don't need it for my work. You know, I'm not required by my company or something to speak German all the time, so it could be better, but it could also be worse. So
yeah,
it's okay.
The only thing that he learned basically was when he had to sort some things with the government, then he needed some German, but that was the German that he never learned anywhere. So he needed to ask the people anyway. That's what I remember.
I always had a friend, my girlfriend, she's German, so she helps with all these sorts of things. If I didn't have any of this support from friends early on or my girlfriend now, then yeah, I would struggle with all of the paperwork you have to do. You know, being self-employed in Germany it's not just super easy. You know, you have to do a few things. There's all sorts of taxes to pay and whatever. And it's all fun.
Not really. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Stuff you got to be done anyway. I've just posted a link in the thing here. Like if anyone wants to download some music, go check it out. It's all, you can download these MP3s for free. I really don't mind too much, but if anyone wants to give a little donation towards them, then that helps. And yeah, hopefully you'll be interested yourself, Manu, to have a little.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have a little listen. Jack D has joined us from Bristol. Hi, Jack D. Cool.
I should actually hire you for the interactional part, basically, to answer the chat, because I was already thinking, okay, how can I improve that format, basically? Because usually when my challenge is basically to focus on my chat partner. Today I have the second challenge to also translate everything basically in English.
Yeah.
But what would actually really be too much for me is if I would have the chat also, then this would basically just be too much for me then. And I mean, I already forgot to push the recording button in the beginning. So I mean, that's what high sensitivity is all about. I'm really looking forward also to Cooper Lower, who's also a very sensitive man. I'm so also as a hint for tomorrow, who wants to tune in 10 a.m. Central European time tomorrow morning. That will be my next guest, and I actually met him in your living room.
Yeah, I was going to say everybody should watch the Cooper Lower episode. Anyway, like he contacted me and just said, hey, I heard you're doing living room concerts. Would you be interested to have me? And I was like, yes, absolutely. So yeah, he came over. This is back in the days when you could invite a bunch of people into your house, and yeah, we had. I think I did 4 or 5 Phone Zimmer concerts last year, and I loved it. It's so nice to just have some music right there in front of you and meet some new people and just share a few beers, and great. But Cooper's just an outstanding guitarist. He's got such a great voice. Like his songwriting is so unique and yeah, so special. You just got to check him out,
Absolutely. So I'm really, really glad that I had that opportunity to meet all these great people in your living room. I mean, I still have these videos. I posted 2 of them on my feed on Facebook today because it's so good memories. It was so a warm connection with all these people. I mean, I didn't know anybody before I was coming there. I mean, we just had a chat on WhatsApp or Facebook, and probably I had a call once or something, and then you invited me, and I said, yeah, of course, coming over. And then we didn't actually had so much time to talk really because there was so much going on. I mean, you were playing music yourself and selling your CDs and arranging everything, and then the jam. And in the end, I sat there as well, sitting on the cajon and jamming with all of you guys, and it made me so happy and feeling so integrated in that musical family, which is why I used that sentence also in the ad, because that's how I felt somehow. I felt included with a bunch of people that I didn't actually know before, and somehow I felt being part of that musical family somehow. And that's actually that's a feeling that I connect with you, basically. So having you being a guy that is connected, has so many connections, open to so many people, and just doing where the flow basically brings you. And I remember the story when we were in touch the last time, basically before the lockdown actually came, or was it last year when we planned some of the retreat events, when you then had a time in Austria also. When was that? Was it last year or this year?
Yeah, last year. No, this year it was in like February or something. I was in Austria for a little while, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you felt welcomed and stuff, and that because I think I know what it feels like when you aren't welcomed, and I sort of had that sort of feeling in the past, and I know that I don't want people I meet to feel like that. So it doesn't harm at all to just be like, yeah, come on in, have a beer, do whatever you want. It's it's kind of easy, but
Yeah. Then when I started to tune in somehow, and when we met in the Irish pub, I mean that was basically one of the last times, at least I remember, where open mic nights were basically possible, and then afterwards everything slowed down, and then since then nothing really seemed to be open again.
yeah. Well, just quickly, hey Cassandra, how you doing? Cassandra's just joined the chat, just joined the video. Yeah, I mean, this year has been much less gigs. I've been trying to do some online stuff, but I was wary about doing it every week because I don't really have anything new to give people every week, and I don't know how to get to other audiences. I don't use Twitch yet. I might change that. I've got the equipment that I need to be able to do nice live streams. I just don't know how to reach the people that would like to hear me play. And I think that's the eternal, quandary, or the difficult part. I see some people, they do a live stream and they've got 200 people watching, and I'm like, I just wish, that would be the sort of thing that I could find for myself. But the people that have been watching, I have to say this as well, like if I'm doing a live stream for like 10 or 12 people, they're so generous. They they give a little donation, they say they interact with me. So I'd rather have 12 people watching me that really care or talk to me than 300 who just fly in and fly out. So swings and roundabouts. But I would love to do a gig soon.
Yeah, I can imagine. So what are your plans for next year?
Survive, I guess. Just keep working. I'm going to be doing guitar lessons mostly. I've been working towards moving my courses onto being available online. I can do lessons via Zoom. I've been writing a ukulele course. I've got a guitar beginners course. I've got 3 intermediate guitar level courses. So it's just keeping the teaching going for now. Because if I'm not able to teach and I'm not able to do gigs and I can't make money from online gigs, I don't really know what my options would be musically. I would probably just have to, get a real job finally. But yeah, I'm just going to hang on in there and just keep doing what I'm doing, and it's going to be all good. I don't really want to spend any of my sort of time thinking badly about the future. I think it's going to be fine.
I mean, you also, I mean, at least that's what I remember. I mean, I'm not a guitarist. I'm just the drummer, so no musician, no real musician in that sense. And everybody, I remember that you also post regular guitar lessons on your YouTube. So do you have also a digital product somehow that you are selling?
Eventually, yeah, but I'm really not. I haven't been working like focused really heavily on that. I post some things on YouTube once in a while, but my view count is so low, and I just don't know how to bump it up. A few videos they had like 30 views, and I don't know what the secret is. People say SEO, but that's just Japanese to me.
Probably you should use an expert that is able to help you. I mean, I'm having these same thoughts also to get a broader reach also of the podcast. I mean, I get so much good feedback about all the stories being told there, and so many connections also happening also in between the interview guests. There's so much. It's really a network that is growing with from episode to episode. But still, I mean, also for me, it's about reaching as many people as possible, because it's really good stories that engage people to follow their dreams and live their dreams and make something out of their visions and getting out of their comfort zone. But in the end, it's also some kind of business know-how in behind, and bits and tweaks here and there. Yeah.
Well, it reminded me of a couple of things. Like my uncle said to me years ago, I think, I don't remember the exact wording, but he said something along the lines of a comfort zone is a really lovely place, but nothing ever grows there. And I always remember that, like, okay, so he said, like, as soon as you feel comfortable in life, you should change something or shake it up a little bit. So I tried to do that at least as much as I can. And then the other thing is, being a musician anyway, it feels like it's that kind of job where you have to get good at all of these different other skills. Like you have to be good at advertising yourself. You have to be good at creating your own artwork. There's so many things that you do for yourself. If you knew how to outsource it, then that's great. But a lot of the times you just don't really know who to ask or who to trust. And that's one of the other things, you know. Yeah, the thing about following your passions and whatever, I said this online before as well, like where you are in your life right now is a direct consequence of how much fear you've been willing to face. So whatever things that came up, any opportunities that you might have turned down or you thought you weren't ready for, these are all the things that just sort of slowed you down a little bit. And I think it's not always easy to just push through and just do stuff and just fucking do it. But I can tell you right now that from my experience, it's worth it. Any bad that comes out of it is purely just a lesson and a chance for you to do it better next time anyway. So
Yeah, no.
There's nothing to lose, you know.
Experience, and every time you fail, you learn something new that doesn't work. So yeah, you probably get fitter or stronger on the path that really is the path that leads you to the next station or into the future or wherever, to the next experience.
The other thing is, like, from traveling, like the one thing that I really realized is you just don't know what's around the next corner. Like you could meet somebody tomorrow that's going to change your life for the next 10 years. You know, you just don't know unless you step outside, go around, see who's there. Yeah, it feels like at the moment I haven't really been out the house even in probably a week. So
I have been today because I have been buying some goods to eat and drink, but I basically feel with you, yes.
Make you feel better. I think Jack D just said that your English is very good. It's like it's your native tongue.
Oh, thank you very much.
So all is good, man. All is good. So thanks again to everybody who's watching.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. And thanks, Ryan, for assisting me with the chat. So that really gives some added value also. But that's your experience. It's really good. Do you ever feel that your ideas, yet you don't find some new ideas?
Sorry?
Do you I'm thinking of being a creative that never runs out of ideas. So are you also that kind of guy, or do you have the fear of, okay, probably there comes a point where I did everything and do not know how things move on?
No, I haven't really thought about that. I mean, creatively, I'm not like a fountain of creativity anyway. Like sometimes something comes up, sometimes I just can't think of anything at all. But I think if you start running out a bit of creativity, one of the first things you can do is collaborate with someone, and then it can squeeze a little bit of something out of you that you didn't know you had. And then, yeah, I mean, there's an endless possibility of making music. The one thing that I would, wish was a bit different is I wish that you could write a song, record the song, and sell a fucking load of them, and then just repeat. But you write songs, you record them, and you barely make your money back from the recording even. So it's just you're always subsidizing your creativity by working somewhere else to create the money for that. That's the way it is. But in an ideal world, it'd be slightly different, like the old days.
Exactly.
But I don't really worry about running out of ideas. I have enough at the moment, and I plan to keep going for at least another 100 years. We'll see.
That's great. So we have been talking about roughly an hour. So how much time did you reserve tonight, Ryan?
Well, I've got the young one and the girlfriend in the other room. They've just been watching Elf, so I'd be like quite happy to go and join them and watch a Christmas movie. Is it December yet? I don't really care, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna do Christmas every day.
So let's finish tonight probably with one more song, Ryan.
Yeah, perfect. I'm probably gonna play Blessed with Less, just because this is one that usually gets requested quite a lot anyway. And this one is for everyone that's watching. I think most of the people watching know the story about this song anyway. But yeah, I did write this song when I was doing my Jakobsweg, or my Camino in Spain. And it was a massive turning point in my life. Definitely. Really, really great experience. So let's do a little bit of Blessed with Less. Thank you for having me, man. And yeah, let's do this. Let's fucking do it. Oh, I need some reverb again. Hang on. Okay, that's better. Okay. as I'm walking, I get to thinking that this moment is all I need. I've been searching for that easy feeling for a long time. With just a bag upon my back, I got no baggage apart from that, but I've got all I need. I don't even own a car no more. I've got no keys to any doors, but I've got all I need. And all I need is good company. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, da-da-dum. It seems I'm winning the more I'm giving away. Maybe I'm blessed now, blessed with less somehow, and I'll keep living with that easy feeling for a long time to go. With just a bag upon my back, I got no baggage above that, but I've got all I need. Don't even own a car no more. I've got no keys to any doors, but I've got all I need. And all I need is good company. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, da-dum. With just a bag upon my back, I got no baggage apart from that, but I've got all I need. I don't even own a car no more. Got no keys to any doors, but I've got all I need. And all I need is good company. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, da-da-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, da-da-dum. Thank you very much. Cool.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
You're welcome. Denise says thank you as well, and Laura Sturgis just joined us as well. So yeah, thank you very much everybody that joined in. Thank you, Manuel, for having me, and just fucking do it. I hope it goes from strength to strength.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Ryan. And before everybody leaves, a smart reminder to our PayPal money pool. It's linked in the description of the video. And if you want to tune in tomorrow to see the exceptional Australian guitar virtuoso Cooper Lower, then save the date, 10 a.m. Central European Time, and you find the podcast under the hashtag justfuckindoit on Facebook and YouTube. Ryan, I guess you're joining the ladies next door and watching Alf or whatever, having some Christmas mood. And thanks again for having you. And yeah,
we'll see you again.
Looking forward to see you again and jam again, make some music again. Looking forward to the open mic night when the pubs are opening again.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely meet up again soon.
Definitely. Ryan, have a nice weekend. Thanks. And everybody out there, thanks for watching.
Ciao,
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.